Good afternoon. My name is Brenna. This video is a response to an investigation about compassion and what it means to be compassionate to different individuals.
My name is Barb Tyler. Professionally, I'm a speech pathologist. Personally, I'm a mom and a youth and young adult leader at the Methodist Church.
So I'd like to ask you a few questions today on the topic of compassion.
Okay.
The first one is, how did you learn about compassion?
I learned about compassion through my different struggles in my own life, of what meant something to some people did not mean something to other people. What was considered hurtful to some was not considered hurtful to others, and it was just a matter of finding a balance.
Okay. How was it shown to you?
Now, I think that it's shown to me through listening, through a true desire to comfort and to understand what might be bothering somebody or what might not be bothering somebody, trying to help us to not make assumptions.
Would you say you use compassion quite frequently in your job?
I try to. I try to use a lot of it. Sometimes when I leave work, I don't have any left.
Yeah.
So I use my drive between work and home to try to fill that back up
Refill and
and
recharge.
decompress a little bit.
Are there ways you may have thought you were receiving compassion, but you were actually receiving pity, empathy?
There were. You can kind of tell in the amount of sarcasm, eye contact or lack thereof, and unfortunately I've done this myself, a quick brush off.
Yeah.
People know.
Yeah, for sure. Could you describe a time in your life when you shared compassion with someone who was suffering?
Recently, had a death in our family, and that compassion was necessary in multiple different levels. Different people grieve differently.
Yes.
And not everybody appreciates the same type of interaction as others. Some people fight and want to get to that goodbye. Some people, no thank you. I'd just as soon remember the last memories I had. And so it's a balance to walk, to give that and to know what level and what distinction of the different types of compassion that you might want to give.
People probably grieve a little bit differently.
Oh yes, some people are right to mad, some people are right to sadness, some people are a mixture of belief or both, and some people are just numb.
Could you describe a time in your life when you received compassion when you were in need?
That same death. I walked into a very public place that evening and received a lot of real hugs, and you can tell the hugs are real from the tightness, from the feel, which sounds weird, but you can tell a fake hug from a real hug.
No, yeah.
And the true tone of sincerity when somebody says, "I'm sorry for your hurt."
Absolutely. Do you feel like it was really compassion and not necessarily pity from that? Like, do you think that they were, feeling bad for you, or were they really hugging you because they felt, they wanted to show you compassion?
The people that I have truly gotten hugs for, I think it was true compassion. And the one person who wasn't sure that that's how I took it came back and hugged me again to make sure he knew that he was giving compassion and not just pure sympathy.
Okay. Is there, let's see, of your life experiences with compassion, which one was more meaningful? Was there an experience or a time?
It's kind of easy to talk about death, but there was also a time when I was a birth coach. 3 times for a former youth. And it'd be really easy to judge and throw in somebody's face that they had a baby without the husband, and here you are in church. Instead, it was necessary to love that person and to be there for them. And now I have the benefit of being able to interact with those children that I helped bring in the world. It would have been real easy for me to turn my back and say, "I'm sorry for your bad luck."
Right.
But God doesn't make mistakes when children come along.
Right.
So why would I judge her when I'm not perfect?
I didn't know that you were a birth coach.
3 times.
Okay.
Autumn and her 2 brothers after.
Okay. I'm sure that took a lot of compassion.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Because I didn't always agree with her choice of partner. But it didn't matter. The kids didn't ask for that.
Right. You just love on them no matter what.
You know I do.
Yeah. All right. Is there any compassionate experience that you have regrets over? Anything that comes to mind that you thought, oh, maybe I could have been more compassionate, or maybe this is a difficult one because I feel like you are a very compassionate person. So
sometimes I cut things short.
Yeah.
In my head, I've got my schedule in my head where I've got to be, what I've got to do, and sometimes I do look back and go, shoot, I should have spent a little bit more time with that person. I should have listened a little longer. But at the same time, shoulda, coulda, woulda, waste a lot of time.
Right.
So I try to take that regret and do it different the next time.
Yeah.
Or go back to that person and say, I'm really sorry I interrupted you. I'm really sorry I left early. Are you okay, and do you still need to talk?
Yeah. That's good. I like that. What do you do to make sure you're being compassionate to others and yourself?
Myself, a little harder than the others, because I can talk to myself inside to remember the others. Don't forget, keep your mouth shut. Don't forget you're listening, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When it's about yourself, a little harder to recognize when you need to love yourself versus judge yourself.
Yes.
So I try to do things that make me relax. I try to read. I get my nails done, which I know to some people just sounds like a vanity thing, but it really does relax me to be able to just take that time with another adult and just relax. I talk to God. I make sure that I'm trying to have that one thing that I know is always compassionate to me, and I try to surround myself with the people He's put in my place to make sure I'm showing myself compassion, because I can't always give it to myself.
I was going to say the little vacation day trips.
Yeah, little
that
vacation
you go on.
and day trips we go on. That's exactly what those purposes are for.
Yeah. Who, in your opinion, needs the most compassion in the world?
I don't know if there's one specific
I know,
person
it's
or
a
one
tough
specific
question.
type of person. Those experiencing trauma really jump into my head, and right now I think that includes the entire world, because since the time of COVID, there's not a single person on this earth can say that they haven't experienced some type of trauma.
Right.
Because COVID changed everything.
Right.
And trauma and change go together. So I think it's those that really struggle with that change, that really struggle with the hurts inside of them. Because if you can take the hurts inside of yourself and use them to help somebody else, to me, that's giving yourself and that other person compassion, because you're going to see what you can do with things you've gone through or mistakes you've made, and how you can share that experience and that caring and love with somebody else.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Do you have any words of wisdom you'd like to share regarding compassion?
Be aware.
Yeah.
Just be aware of who you're with and what's going on. You don't even have to know the parts of their life. Just be aware. Watch their faces. Watch their bodies. If they're not in tune to what you're doing, something's going on. And even if it's just, I noticed you were kind of dozing or dazing off a little bit. You okay? Yeah, I'm all right. Okay, I just wanted to check. Sometimes that quick check is just enough to make somebody smile inside.
Body language cues.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Is there anything else you would like to add on the topic of compassion?
Nothing other than I try to be an example. When I make mistakes, I try to acknowledge them to people. I'm not always perfect at it.
Yeah.
But I also know that if I don't learn from my mistakes, I can't help other people learn from their mistakes. So I guess it's just that being aware of people, and that you can't fix everything, but you can be there.
I was completing an assignment the other night, and I remembered that book that we read in elementary, the Fill Your Bucket book.
Oh, yes.
And I always thought, I am very compassionate, and so I feel like I always need to fill others' buckets, but then giving yourself, filling your own bucket is difficult.
Make sure you get drops in your bucket.
Yes.
You betcha.
So that would definitely resonate a little bit, and that would be important.
Yes.
So, yes. Well, thank you so much for letting me interview today.
You made me feel special.
Good.